Hey everyone, I'm nearing the end of my single-handing odyssey from Thailand to the Suez Canal. It's been quite an adventure, so if you're new to the channel, I encourage you to go back and watch from the start.
Sun is rising behind me. Right now is the rare period in sailing where it's after a period of calm, the wind is coming up, so it's good sailing weather. I have the full main and jib up, but it's not choppy yet, so sailing in good wind but smooth seas. Won't last, but enjoy it while I got it. It's 5 in the morning. I'm in the Red Sea. Unfortunately, it's difficult sometimes for me to bring you along in the true action scenes. Wind has been building and building. I fell off, but then was just going in a direction that was away from where I wanted to go. And even more critically, was headed straight to the Saudi coast. So I had to do something. I could have tacked, which would have been, with the angle I was going, basically a 180-degree turn, which didn't feel real productive. Anyway, with the wind building and building, the right move was to take sail down, bring it in some. So I had been sailing with full jib and a reef in the main, which was fine, but I've now got 25 or more, so I dropped the main down from 1 reef to 3 and put 2 reefs in the jib. It's the configuration I had the other night when I had heavy wind. It should be good to up over 30, which I haven't seen. So that's what's going on at 5 in the morning here. Go for days and days and days on passages without, well, there are times where I go for a day or days without touching a sheet on passages, and man, that is not what the Red Sea is. Different intensities of wind, different direction the wind is coming from, but all more or less from the direction you're going. So, you know, you're weaving in and out, you're tacking slow and steady. How am I doing right now? Right now I got the sail down and I'm okay. So I'm sailing once again close hauled and still generally towards the Saudi coast. We'll have to tack in an hour or two, but that also will be much easier with 3 reefs in the main and 2 in the jib. So I'll tell you, rough conditions are one thing. Sailing close hauled into about 25 knots. I've got the sails down to the point where this should be just fine. Rocking and rolling a little bit here, but that's okay. And now that it's light out, it's gone from, I mean, just psychologically everything changes when it's light out. But the frustrating thing is that really only about 1 out of every 3 mile I do is a mile made good. 2 out of every 3 miles I'm spending going sideways to my destination because I'm trying to sail into the wind. It's a reason sailors sail downwind. It's not what the Red Sea is. I'll get there, probably. Maybe. Hopefully. Continuously improving things, making things better. One of humans' most fantastic traits. Wouldn't be where we are as a species without it. And yet sometimes things are just hard. There's not a way to make it easier. Sailing up the Red Sea is one of those things that's just hard. There are better and worse tactics, and I'm trying my best to take the right points of sail and weather windows, etc. But it's just going to be hard. The prevailing wind is at you. There's over 1,000 miles to cover. No way to make that easy. Yesterday I looked at my routing app. Said I had about 5 days to go. Today I looked at my routing app about the same time. It said about 4 3/4 days to go. In that intervening 24 hours, I've been tossed around 30-knot winds, tacking back and forth. So that's frustrating, but I have a 1/4 less day to go than I did this time yesterday. So that's the bright side. The winds are lessening. I'm heading out to sea, and in an hour or so I'm going to be able to do, I think, a gaining tack where I'll be able to get some northing. Hopefully have a good afternoon and making some progress. It's okay, I'm in no rush. Helicopter up there definitely checking me out. I suspect I'll get hailed. Good to know he's there. The contrasts out here are amazing. It wasn't 24 hours ago that I was just in hold on mode, double reefed jib, triple reefed main, sailing close hauled into 30 knots. Now there's less than 10, I'm motor sailing, sun's coming up behind me, seas are pretty calm. And who knows, I may be 24 hours from now, maybe the back to hold on mode, but inching closer, inching closer. By the way, it's getting chilly. That's why I have the fashionable hat on. I even have some socks on for warmth. Going north. Hi! Hello! Hello! Goodbye! It's just a quick dolphin visit. It's the second one. I have noticed that I appreciate them more as a solo sailor. Guess I could use a little companionship, and you know, you take what you can get. They're pretty cool.
I'm doing a quick pit stop in Soma Bay, Egypt. It's a resort area with water sports, great diving, and even a golf course. It all looks fantastic, but I'm not yet checked into Egypt, so I can't get off the boat. I'm having fuel delivered to me, which is the reason for the stop. It also gives me a chance to do some quick triage, like re-rigging my lazy jacks, which broke in a gust. I would have loved to explore, or at least get in the water. But it was nice to have a good night's rest.
Back to sea I go, up the Gulf of Suez. A little apprehensive about this. It's going to be tight quarters, structures, marked and unmarked, lit and unlit is the reputation. I'm hoping it's not quite that bad, especially in the corridor. I'm also hoping the wind is okay, 200 miles, but I hope to do it in one shot. If things get unpleasant, there's points I can stop. In the words of the legendary Captain Ron, if anything's gonna happen, it's gonna happen out there. All right. I hate to declare it, but I really am tempted to say the worst is behind me. And last night was a strong contender. Motoring into 20 knots. I'm hemmed in here in the Gulf of Suez. There's oil platforms around, ships in close proximity. I just don't have the leeway to tack back and forth and sail, so I am nose to and going slow, being bounced around. Really not a situation where I can get much sleep. I believe that most of these oil platforms are probably on the chart, but the chart says they may not be, and I keep an eye out for ones that might be lit but not on the chart. The VHF chatters all night. The bright side is the wind is supposed to calm down, which will then calm the seas down, and I've got less than 150 miles to go. So in cruising terms, it is Grand Central Station here in the Gulf of Suez, the platform right behind me, and then there's not one but two of these boats. New proximity record. We're 3 wide here in this corridor going north. I'm in the slow lane. The guy that's super close to me is in the middle, and then there's one further over. And then I can't go further the other way, really, because I've got this big oil platform right up ahead of me off starboard. A few episodes ago, I pondered how far is too far. What are our limits? And while I said that that's a decision each and every one of us has to make for ourselves, I'm going to give you 2 suggestions. And no, I'm not going to recommend that you sail across an ocean solo. Suggestion number 1, compare yourself to one and only one person, yourself. I just sailed 5,000 miles solo, which is pretty awesome for me, but it's nothing compared to what others have done. Be your best self without worrying about how that compares to others. And suggestion number 2, push yourself a little bit further. I bet you'll be surprised at what you're capable of. I had an anthem for this journey. It's a song I listened to almost every day, especially when I was down.
Get up, no one's never gonna let up, so you might as well sing along. The odds are that we will probably be alright. Odds are we gonna be alright. Odds are we gonna be alright tonight. The odds are that we will probably be alright. Odds are we gonna be alright. Odds are we gonna be alright for another night. Sure, things go wrong, but I'll take my chances. Odds are long, so why not play?
So a bit hectic. I got into the inner anchorage here just in time to catch the transit this afternoon. It's about 40 miles, so I'm gonna need all the daylight I got left. They came on board and did measurements, and now I'm waiting for my pilot who's gonna drive the boat for me. Most cruisers don't like that. They don't want to give up the helm. I am fine with somebody else steering for a little while. That is just fine with me, and if he runs into anything, it's probably gonna do more damage to the canal than Scout. So have at it, my man. I'm just waiting, and then we're gonna go. Tell you what, I think we'll tell you about the Suez Canal when we do the second half with the family. Right now, I'm just content to have somebody else drive the boat. We got the current going with us, which is amazing. Sun is down, last light. It's been a longer day than I counted on. About 9 miles left. It'll be dark getting into the marina. This is gonna shock you, I'm tired. But it'll be good, I'll be good. I'll be glad to be done. You know, hopefully the next 9 miles go smooth, but feel good to be on the dock.
For cruising vessels, the Suez Canal is done in 2 legs, with a stop in Ismailia in the middle. You can do it in back-to-back days, or stay in Ismailia for a little while, which is my plan. We left later in the day than is normal, so are arriving at the marina well after dark. This is not a situation I like to be in. I've got a canal pilot at the helm who speaks very little English. I'm coming into a harbor with shallows, and while there are good navigation beacons, they're very difficult to pick out against the city backdrop. Spoiler alert, I took over the helm and we got onto the dock just fine. This is the end of 46 solo days at sea for me. Thank you for sharing my journey. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. There are a lot more journeys ahead.